man you're about to marry, I met like an hour ago. But so far, I like him.
Pulling into this driveway completes our entire loop. We just circled the whole United States. All right, so we have some pretty big news. We are buying Less Junk, More Journeys RV. Just kidding.
We're just here visiting with Nathan and Marissa. We're doing things a little bit different in this episode. Just wanted to come to you at real time. As many of you know, and some of you may not,
A lot don't.
our YouTube is actually over a year behind. So we wanted to explain to you guys why we're behind and kind of give you a little update as to how we're gonna catch up. So why are we so behind on YouTube? When we first sold our house and left Maine, we were originally moving south and wanted to travel in an RV for a year before we made that move. In that time frame, we really wanted to enjoy what we were doing.
A once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And editing, as a lot of you know, is very time consuming and life altering. So we didn't we filmed. Filming's easy for me. I document things. I was a photographer before. I still am a photographer.
And we wanted it all documented.
Yes.
We wanted to have it for ourselves. We just didn't know if it was ever going to turn into something later on.
Yes, but now I get the bug for video and video editing. I really like it.
By the time we had traveled for almost a year, we kind of made the decision that we really like this RV lifestyle and we want to continue it. And on top of that, we did want to start a YouTube channel to be able to document in a continuous, like, episodal form.
So that's how we got behind. Like, yes, we could have skipped some things. It's important to me. It's important for what I think I'm going to like in the future to keep a continuous story going on and not jumping around.
Right, and that's easier for you guys to follow, and it's for us. Like, we want our daughters to be able to have these videos someday to show their children that this is the whole journey we took at this point in our lives.
Yeah, this is not just here now. This is in 10 years. I can't imagine. I think the girls to be able to look back. I think for us to be able to look back.
Yeah.
So I want it continuous, and this is one way that we're going to do that. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to kind of cruise through about 3 months.
Right.
Just kind of narrate through, we're probably going to do a couple of these, but just this stuff it's probably not that interesting to you guys anyways. It's family time. We've been hanging out with family and friends over the holidays. So
we're going to catch you up in 15 minutes over a 3-month span.
Hopefully this is 15 minutes.
In YouTube time.
And hopefully this is real time. This is Saturday. We want to release it tomorrow.
This is the most update you've ever had from us.
Yeah.
So right now we are headed to go visit some friends that live really close to Nathan and Marissa that used to be our neighbors in Maine. They're staying at a campground in the area. So we're going to go visit them, take some hikes, and catch you guys up while we're hanging out with them.
One more thing. Obviously this probably takes the confusing way. Yes, we are still on the road. And
we are.
No, I'm not bald.
That is a question we get asked a lot,
I'm just
which
lazy.
is odd. He just likes having his head shaved.
I actually just shaved my head this morning because it was getting too long. And it probably looked just like this. It's too much work. I got really fine hair and I'm not putting product in it, so I shave it off.
I'm glad that's all settled and clear now.
Another question we get a lot is, do the girls still like traveling? According to those fake smiles, no. But when we were just in St. Augustine, that's where Justice Nanny lives, they have their own room. And they asked to renovate that room, you know, because they wanted to spend some time in it. And I was like,
this might be the nail in the coffin. This could be the end.
This is it. They're going to do this and they're going to be like, I don't want to go back in the RV. But to my surprise, what did you say? After like 3 weeks, I said, hey.
I'm ready. I want my bed back. I want my bed back.
So
Well,
yeah,
they wanted to travel.
do you guys like traveling?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Because I like meeting new people.
Ah.
I like seeing people we haven't seen in a long time. Yeah.
So new people and old people.
Yeah.
New people and old people.
So there you have it. They're still interested in traveling.
Another question. According to YouTube, you wouldn't think we're on the road for a year, but we're actually approaching year 3 on the road.
Right. This fall,
Yeah.
3 years. That went by in a blink.
It really did. I feel honestly like we just started.
People ask us that all the time. They're like, so are you guys done yet? And we're like, it feels like we just started. It's crazy. There's so much more for us to see. We are here visiting our friends David and Lara and their girls. They were our neighbors in Maine for years before relocating here to Tennessee, and we are so excited that we got to come and visit them and be with best friends again. We are at Bell Ridge Retreat Campground in, what town are we in?
Monterey, Tennessee.
Monterey, Tennessee.
And this is their new Class A.
Woohoo!
What is it, a wind sport?
4 winds wind sport, yep.
All right.
We've had such an awesome time here with our friends at Bell Ridge Retreat Campground. And we found out that friends that we just met recently are work camp hosts here. So thank you, Micah and Natalie, for giving us the tour and showing us around and all the cool things to do here.
All right, so we heard there was a gazebo with a good view. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That is a good view.
Wow.
Look at that. They got a little seat set up for us.
This is perfect. Honey, it's just like a swing seat. No.
Look at this view.
Come on.
I might have to fly the drone from here.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this narration. I hate doing videos like this, but
We gotta get you guys caught up.
we got to get caught up. Okay. It's super pretty here. We spun this rocking
Our little
chair
rocker.
around, but now the background's blown out, but you saw it. It's pretty.
You get the idea.
You get the idea. All right, in our last video, we left Phoenix and headed to El Paso, where my brother is stationed. My younger brother is stationed in El Paso at Fort Bliss. He is in the Army. This leg of our journey has really just been about family and just taking advantage of being able to travel across the country and see family. So
Exactly, and we hadn't seen our nephew Wyatt in over a year at that point.
it was a year, yeah. Now there's even a Scarlet. So my
That's
brother,
right.
since this filming, has had another little baby girl.
We stayed at the Fort Bliss campground, which we absolutely love, and we were able to get in because Evan is based there, and so he was our sponsor. Beautiful campground.
We said goodbye to my brother, and from El Paso we made our way down to Corpus Christi, Texas, which is all the way, just the very tip of Texas. It's all the way down. My parents moved there from Maine about 7 years ago. I don't know, is it 7 years?
7, 8, I've
7,
lost
8,
track
it
of
doesn't
how many
matter.
years they've been down.
Anyways, they live down there now. We've been there without the trailer. They have a steep driveway, so we weren't really sure if the trailer was going to fit. Spoiler, it did. And it wasn't that hard. But anyway, you worry about stuff like that. One of the main reasons why we kind of cruised down the West Coast so fast was we had a big dot. And I don't know if we've mentioned big dots and little dots before, but everybody asks, how do we route plan? And we route plan with big dots. We set a few things that we know we want to do.
Right.
Those are what's important to us. And then we fill in the little dots, you know, along the way.
Right, with whatever time frame we have or whatever, you know, whatever comes up that we haven't done before, or, you know, where friends might be.
And that allows us to be flexible with that other stuff. Okay, we like it here, we want to spend more time here,
Exactly.
or we've done this area, there's nothing much more to do here, let's move on.
So we learned early on that this was a really good method for us to be able to travel the way that we enjoy and have a little more flexibility.
And there's drawbacks to that, but that's what works for us. One of our big dots was Jess's cousin's wedding, and that's in Houston, Texas, and that's where we headed to from Corpus Christi.
Right, so we were just dropping our trailer so that we could head to the wedding in Houston, make it a little easier. A bonus for the wedding was that my mother was flying in for the wedding and we weren't going to be able to see her for the holidays that year, so we got some time with my mom, who my girls lovingly call Gigi, and got to spend some holiday time with Gigi, which was wonderful. My cousin's wedding was absolutely beautiful. We had so much fun celebrating with Sarah and Zach, and Lily absolutely shocked us and surprised us by becoming the comedic relief at the rehearsal dinner. Hilarious.
Well, you know those speeches where everybody's like, well, if you want to get up and say something, now's your opportunity. I did not know that Lily was
Never.
going to take... She didn't say anything, she just got up there and started talking.
The man you're about to marry, I met like an hour ago, but so far, I like him. So, let's see, what am I gonna cheers to? Have kids. I'd like some third, second, once removed, I don't know, cousins.
We left Houston from the wedding and headed back to Corpus Christi and found out that our friends Jerome and Jen from Our One Chance were staying really close, so we got to stop in and have dinner with them. We met the Bragas in Florida. They were some of our first friends that we met at a campground that were full-timers.
Yeah, we met them at the same time we met the Merediths.
That's right, from our lively tribe. So it had been months and months, and we always have so much fun with them.
So we made it back to my parents, and like I said, we were here for the holidays. This was Thanksgiving. And it's just good to be in a family driveway. That's really where I picked up detailing and my sense of whatever it is from my dad.
His need for
So it was
clean
awesome,
truck.
you know, just to have a driveway to clean the truck and change the oil and just take care of projects that we kind of just put off from Alaska, just maintenance stuff. We just did a lot of cleaning up and reorganizing.
That's right, and all the usual holiday stuff, even other, I guess, more Texas-related things. You know, went out to a big property, and Grampy gave the girls their first lesson in shooting a gun, so they got to do a little target practice, which they thought was a blast.
We had a ton of fun. Another good thing about Texas is brisket.
One
Brisket
of Corey's
is
favorites.
So cheap in Texas.
So whenever we leave Texas, this is what I know is going to happen. I have to completely empty out our 8 cubic foot refrigerator, and I know that the freezer is going to be filled with brisket, and I'm going to at least have to have 3 of them in my refrigerator as well. So it's just how we travel, apparently.
It's too cheap. You need to
We
have
have
brisket
friends
in
in
your
Florida that are like, can you guys bring us brisket home? I'm like, do you know the size of my refrigerator? But still, we make it work.
One of my father's neighbors and good friend owns a couple planes.
Yeah.
And offered to bring me up, my dad and I, and we had a great time. You're just flying over Corpus Christi, and I'm used to seeing stuff up high from a drone. This was a different perspective. It was a lot of fun. Another thing we did before we left was go to the Texas State Aquarium, which is in Corpus Christi. The girls love it, we love it. We had been one time before with my parents.
Years and years ago, the girls were so little.
But this time we went back just ourselves.
It's wonderful, and anytime you can get to an aquarium or a museum, it's just another level of schooling for the girls, and it's always so hands-on and so much fun. So obviously, as a homeschool mom, I love anything like that. The aquarium there was amazing, the animals. I got to see a sloth for the first time. Oh my gosh, so cute.
You didn't really see the sloth.
I saw the sloth. It was sleeping, but I saw the sloth.
We have no footage of a sloth, so we didn't see
It was one
the
of my
sloth.
dreams to see a sloth, and I saw it, so it was done.
Anytime where you can be in a space where there's like sharks swimming over your head, I think that's pretty cool.
So we pretty much had the place to ourselves, and it was incredible.
Off season.
Yes, always go to everywhere in the off season. I think my favorite part of the whole aquarium experience was Layla and Corey finding their spirit animal.
Well, we didn't find our spirit animals. I got named a spirit animal, and Layla just said, "Well, if we're talking about it, here is my spirit animal."
You found your spirit animal.
Lily, out of nowhere, goes, "I know who your spirit animal is, Dad." That's a grouper.
I know, you'd be a grouper.
I'd be a grouper?
Yep.
Nope, I'd be a shark.
No. You'd be a grouper.
I think I found my spirit animal. These otters, earlier today they put a bunch of ice out and they were just chewing on ice. And I was like,
You love ice.
yes, and I'm like, they are loving ice, they could be feisty, and they're cute.
We loved our time that we were able to spend with my family. We probably would have made a way to come see them, but we've seen them so much because we are
That's right.
on the road. We're taking advantage of it. This is how we travel.
Right.
I love to see stuff, but the other half of it is family.
That's right, and friends that we don't get to see on a regular basis. And for people that are wondering about that, you know, how do you leave your family when you're packing up and hitting the road full time? And the answer is yes. That there are hard pieces about that, but the amount of family and friends that we have gotten to see on the road that if we were still in Maine, we would have not seen for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Really does help that process and help you to be able to deal with that.
And
'Cause it's special.
FaceTime. FaceTime
Exactly.
technology has really advanced this.
It's a game changer when it comes to living this lifestyle for sure.
So communication is definitely one of the things you want to keep
Right,
if you leave.
right. It's how we continue to have a relationship with our nieces and nephews that are in Maine or now in El Paso. You know, we just want to make sure that we're keeping that bond with them however we can.
And that dreaded family group text that I'm sure you guys are all part of. Within your own family.
Group text is amazing.
Anyways.
Group text is always awesome, especially when Corey's on it. You never know what's going to come out of that boy's mouth.
Anyways, we loved our time in Texas. We needed to go from Texas to Florida. Just a
That's
quick
right.
little
Just a little.
hop, skip, and a jump over to Florida. My dad has been bugging me. Every time we come to Texas, he's like, did you go to Buc-ee's? Did you go to Buc-ee's? Did you go to Buc-ee's? I have never gone to Buc-ee's. It just hasn't worked out. Well, we made sure we went to a Buc-ee's. I don't know why we weren't going to Buc-ee's before.
I know. What were we
They're
thinking?
massive. There was like 200 pumps. Like, it's just massive.
Huge.
So I was filling. Jess and the girls went in real quick before me, and Jess met this dude, and I didn't even know this until after the fact, that decided he thought he was on the news.
I don't know what he
and was
thought.
reporting on why his town needed a
A
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
It's pretty good.
How you doing, sir? What do you think of Buc-ee's today?
I'm here to express that I wish that we had a Buc-ee's in Louisiana. And unfortunately, we do not. They made an attempt, but I hope that the powers that be in Lake Jackson will continue to believe that there is a reason and a way to bring the good Buc-ee's name and have it available for the people that need it. My people, Louisiana. Merry Christmas to all. Live from Baytown. Good day.
That was fantastic.
That's so funny.
And I am fully supportive of his thought process. I think every town needs a Buc-ee's now that I've been to one.
And they sold my brand of grill there, the Green Mountain Grill pellet smoker. So.
And therefore Corey was sold for the rest of his life.
Okay, so here's me in front of this one. Now let's come over and look at ours. Here.
Oh, it's so cute.
Here I am.
Rolled up on the ground, a Buc-ee's.
Hey,
No.
he is the perfect size for an RV smoker. And we love him.
I love it. Yeah, Buc-ee's is a good place.
So most people who don't completely know our story think that we are actually from Florida, and the reason is that we left Maine without a trailer and without our current truck. We kind of did things a little bit backwards. We left
Yeah,
with a
way
U-Haul
backwards.
and our
Don't-
Tacoma.
They're off. Well,
Take us with you. Don't do things like us.
We constantly say this. Don't do it exactly like we did.
Yeah.
But for us, it worked. We wanted to find the right rig and the right truck, and we were ready to go, and we had sold our house. So
This is it. Last memories here at Old Provost.
we headed down to Florida to stay with my grandmother, aka Nanny, and we launched from Florida after we purchased the truck and the RV. Getting to her house was pretty crazy because it was the complete circle of our year where we had gone from Florida.
So we left Florida, drove up the East Coast to Maine
That's right.
to her sister's wedding, across the top, and then up into Canada.
Yeah.
Circled Alaska, came down the West Coast, then down through Texas. You're following us right through there right now,
Right.
and then we're back
In
to Florida, like a complete circle, 30,000 miles
10 months.
in 10 months.
So it was really strange to pull into her driveway. It was just like the completion and the accomplishment of what we had just done in that year. And you know, because we launched from there and because it's my grandmother, that has always felt like home.
Another home for
It's
us.
one of our home bases for sure since we've hit the road. While we were at Nanny's, we actually had a lot of friends visit, and the people that we're actually hanging out with today, the Wits, who used to be our neighbors in Maine, they actually came and visited us at Nanny's house, so our girls got to see their best friends and hang out for a little bit. We got to hang out again with Microadventurefamily, so Dave and Jenny were on the road. We actually met them for the first time in Maine, and they live in Jacksonville now, and so whenever we're in St. Augustine, it's so awesome to catch back up with them as well. And
We went shark tooth hunting.
Yes, we
Shark
did.
teeth hunting?
Shark tooth hunting? Yeah, I think you would say tooth.
Yeah.
So apparently that area near Jacksonville, near Ponte Vedra, is one of the best locations to hunt for shark teeth, and Jenny is an avid shark tooth hunter. We got to hang out at the beach with them, and then soon after, Nathan and Marissa actually came to Nanny's and parked the Airstream in Nanny's yard, and after that we got to travel around in Florida with Nathan and Marissa for a little while and got to check out some of the local parks that we hadn't seen before, because when we are in that area, we're staying with my grandmother.
Yep.
So Anastasia State Park.
All of those coastal like beach campgrounds are so awesome. 'Cause
Oh, my
the
word.
beach is right there. You get the Spanish moss like right over your rig. They're just gorgeous sights.
They're awesome. From Anastasia, we went to another city park that's up in Jacksonville called Kathryn, Hanna, and it was just another one of those amazing beach campgrounds that we absolutely loved.
But yeah, as you can see, we're behind because there's no baby JJ yet.
Correct.
He's still in the belly.
There's still an Airstream.
And they're still in an Airstream. So yeah, we're behind.
Oh my goodness.
From there, we went down to one of our favorite places, Juniper Springs. Do not skip the center of Florida. The Florida center, where all of the
Ocala National
crystal
Forest,
clear
yes.
springs are just our favorite. They're just,
Yeah.
they're magical. That
Yeah.
crystal clear water it's magical.
It
There's
really
just
is.
no other way to
It
say
really
it.
is, and we've said it before, but when we've talked about Juniper Springs before in that whole area, you feel like you're in a completely different place. Absolutely beautiful, and we were excited to show Nathan and Marissa our favorite spring there, which is Juniper Springs.
And we ended up in the exact same campsite as we were the first time we were there. And that pretty much wraps it up.
That's right.
We left there, and we actually have video of what we did next that we already released. If you really want to be confused about our timeline, a year ago we released from Juniper Springs through the Tampa RV show.
That's right.
So we have some videos of that. If
Those
you
are
wanna-
episodes 9 through 11, if you're curious.
If you want to check out that and be really confused. But it is what it is, and we just launched through 3 months, and we need to get caught up. So for my sanity, we need to catch up. Since you've been just staring at a completely blown out background, let me show you what we tried to show you. Oh, it's beautiful.
I want to see sunrise here. I bet this would be awesome with donuts and coffee.
We've
That
got
would
a
be a good idea.
long night of editing if this thing is going to get out tomorrow morning. It's like we were never here.
We didn't quite get wrapped up last night. That's all right.
Hopefully this clears up a little bit for you and doesn't make you more confused.
It's probably going to make everybody more confused.
Probably.
But we're really excited with what's coming up in our YouTube tab. Air quotes. We're going to the Outpost next.
That's right. That's
Which
the wildlife refuge where we volunteer, and we stayed a month there last year.
Really, really looking forward to editing that. That's stuff I've been waiting to edit for a long time. And then after that, we have the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, and Wind Cave National Park, and the ranch in Wyoming where we do some cattle drives, and Tetons, and Yellowstone, and Glacier, and
It's a long
Bryce,
list.
Park City, Zion.
Grand Canyon.
We got a lot coming up.
There's a lot to share, so we're really excited to show that to you guys.
And as far as real time goes, we're pretty excited because we're heading up north to RV country, aka Elkhart. We're gonna get some new goodies put on the RV, so stay tuned for that.
Today we are going to celebrate Corey and Nathan with some donuts and usual Finding Our Someday fashion, and we want to wish a happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there. We'll see you soon.
Ready?
Happy Happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day to me.
JJ, you ready for your donut?
Hold on, Bubba, hold on. So the other day, Lily informs us that she thinks that there are fish eggs, salmon eggs, still in a container that has fishing gear in it that we have carried for 5 months since leaving Alaska.
Hey, Dad told me it would be a good idea to keep it as bait.
I did not.
Yes, you
Keeping it as
did.
bait, but he didn't realize it had gotten put in the fishing gear.
Bait for 1 day. No wonder it's been stinking. I just found it.
That's what's left of the egg.
Daddy's got such a gag reflex. He
Oh, I found it. I dry heaved for a second.
Oh god, it really stinks.
he's like,
That's it all.
I think we do need to make sure we're enunciating in here.
Enunciate. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I live in a camper,
And I like it.
and I like it a lot.
Alright, that's kind of loud. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Alright, end test.
Alright, bye everybody.
Bye, sweetie.
Love you.
Bye.